In this video, I'll be sharing the ingredients that make up the popular Filipino street snack, Turon. Turon was one of my favorite snacks to come home to after school as a kid. I'll show you how you can swap out some of those traditional, not so good for you ingredients for healthier substitutes. Hey fam, did you eat yet? Welcome to my channel. My name is Melissa. I started this channel because of my great passion for nutritious food and making sure others are fed well. My cousin and I, we joke about how our Filipino family's love language can be summed up in the question, did you eat yet? I worked in the hotel business for 7 years, and my main goal then was to make sure that my guests were fat and happy. I loved my job because I got to eat all types of food. Rule of thumb is to taste test the food before serving it to your guests, right? But my world got flipped upside down in 2017. I was diagnosed with lupus, a chronic autoimmune disease that causes inflammation and pain throughout my entire body. That's when I realized that the food I grew up eating was contributing to my autoimmune systems and I needed to change my diet. Here on my channel, I'll be flipping those traditional, not so healthy recipes into clean, more nutritious meals bursting with flavor while still remaining authentic and delicious. And I'm going to start with the Filipino meals I grew up with. I don't want to make you fat and happy, so instead, we're going to make everything flippin' happy. Before we jump in, here's a quick fun fact about Turon. So just like the other egg roll varieties, Turon was inspired by the Chinese spring rolls. But rumor has it, Turon began where there were just mad banana trees and crops in certain barangays in the Philippines, and the locals didn't know what else to do with these bananas, so they just started to experiment. They rolled them up in spring roll wrappers and fried them. Pretty genius if you ask me. So traditionally, Turon consists of super simple ingredients. Bananas or plantains, spring roll wrappers. For ease and convenience, we use canned jackfruit, granulated sugar, and vegetable oil. Seems pretty safe, right? But let's take a look at those ingredients a little bit closer. Spring roll wrappers, especially the ones I grew up with, they're typically made with enriched wheat flour. Some, they even add soybean oil and a lot of other processed ingredients that are they're not good for the body. Wheat, which is gluten, it doesn't provide any essential nutrients to our bodies. Studies have shown that consuming gluten has been linked to inflammation and other symptoms like gastrointestinal issues, migraines, chronic fatigue. I know I definitely experienced all 3 of those symptoms when I was eating gluten. So you're probably like, Melissa, what the heck can I wrap my spring rolls in if spring roll wrappers contain gluten? How about those rice paper spring roll wrappers? They're gluten-free, right? Yes, but it's typically made from white rice, which is a simple carb and has a high glycemic index. Check out my video on champorado where I talk more about rice and how I flipped that Filipino breakfast. So I came across these coconut wraps and I instantly thought, Turon! I love these ones from Thrive Market because they are made with all organic, natural coconut ingredients. And guess what? The coconuts are imported from the Philippines too. Hey, represent! Stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you how you can get food for up to 30% cheaper than the grocery store at Thrive Market. And show some love for your Asian American fam this month of May. Pick up some coconut wraps. So coconut wraps are entirely gluten-free. They're made up of simply coconut oil, coconut water, and coconut meat. And there are so many health benefits from coconuts. They contain disease-fighting antioxidants, they promote blood sugar regulation, and they help reduce the risk of heart disease. Just do a quick Google search or maybe ask Alexa. You'll find a ton more reasons. Canned jackfruit. I could seriously eat these straight out of the can. They taste just like candy because it's loaded with sugar and it's soaked in the syrup too. Let's break down the math. One serving, which is 4 pieces of jackfruit, contains 34 grams of natural sugar. Plus, there's an additional 30 grams of added sugar. So that's a total of 64 grams of sugar per serving. So if there's 4 grams of sugar in 1 teaspoon, and if I did the math correctly, that means there's 4 pieces of jackfruit that has 16 teaspoons of sugar. Yikes! Sugar actually provides food bacteria in our mouths, and that leads to tooth decay. No wonder I had a lot of cavities when I was a kid. I loved sweets. So I'm pretty sure when our ancestors discovered Turon, they used fresh jackfruit. You'll find these ginormous, crazy, obnoxious, oblong-shaped, somewhat spiky-looking green fruit in most Asian stores. Occasionally, you'll find them in Whole Foods. It somewhat looks like a durian, but definitely not stinky like the durian. Jackfruit, especially when it's ripe, has this super sweet scent somewhere between the cross of a pineapple and a banana. You can also buy them already conveniently cut and peeled in the frozen section of the Asian store, just like these ones. Just be sure there's no added sugar or anything else. Jackfruit is actually a really good source of vitamin C, potassium, and dietary fiber. Dietary fiber not only helps improve digestion, but it helps lower your risk for heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and GI problems. As if the canned jackfruit and its syrup weren't sweet enough, I've seen my fellow Filipinos dredge their bananas in granulated sugar. Guys, excessive sugar consumption is the largest factor causing obesity and chronic disease in America. It contains no nutrients, no minerals, and it has a high glycemic index of 65. That means when we digest it super quick, and it causes blood sugar fluctuations that triggers shifts in our energy level, our mood, and our ability to control our food cravings. Do your body a favor and just avoid that added sugar. You don't need it. If your plantains really do need that extra boost of sweetness though, a great sugar alternative and a one-to-one substitute is monk fruit sweetener. It has 0 calories, 0 carbs, and it's 0 glycemic. It doesn't raise your blood glucose levels, and it's diabetic friendly too. Last but not least, we have to coat our pan in some oil to fry these spring rolls up and get our crunch on, right? Vegetable oil is typically what we use because it's cheaper, and if you're Filipino, you know our food is summed up in 3 main categories: fried, pork, or fried pork. So we use our cooking oil like there's no tomorrow. Vegetable oils such as canola oil, soybean oil, and palm oil are processed at really high temperatures. So during that process, the unsaturated fats tend to oxidize, causing them to be dangerous to the tissues in our body. This triggers the inflammation, which can then lead to a heart attack and other chronic diseases. You don't want that. So, what's a better cooking oil alternative? Coconut oil. They undergo much less processing than other vegetable oils. Coconut oil contains a term you may have heard bounced around a lot called MCTs, or medium chain triglycerides. When they're consumed, they tend to go straight to your liver to be used for energy rather than to be stored as fat. Pretty cool, right? Because oil is high in saturated fats, these fatty acids raise your good cholesterol, or your HDL, in your blood, and it reduces your risk for heart disease. Here's another fun fact. The Philippines is actually the greatest worldwide producer of coconut oil. So just think about how you're supporting your fellow Filipinos back in the motherland the next time you fry something up in coconut oil. Now you know that you can enjoy your favorite Filipino snack without any of the guilt or have to sacrifice on flavor, and that it can actually provide health benefits for your body too. To shop for clean, healthy ingredients such as the ones I shared here at affordable prices, you can sign up for a Thrive Market subscription using my promo link in the description box below. You'll get 25% off your first order plus a free gift. Who doesn't like free gifts? Come on now. They have a whole selection of food based on diets like gluten-free, vegan, paleo, even AAPI or autoimmune protocol. It's really great. They have so much to choose from. And if you're not satisfied with the service, you can always cancel within the first 30 days for a full refund. But I know me, I always get super excited every time I receive a Thrive Market delivery. It's like getting Christmas gifts in the mail, but with food. So good, so good. Be sure to check out part 2 of my Turon video where I'll show you how to make the healthy version of these banana egg rolls. I promise it'll be a top hit at the next party you host. Don't forget to follow Flippin' Happy on social media for the latest tips, recipes, and food insights. Until next time, ingat!